Yo, what's going on?
Hey, look, how's
Richie?
things going?
It's all right, man. It's all right. Surviving this corona apocalypse that's happening right now.
Yeah, it's crazy times, right?
Oh, I know, bro. It's out of control.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, we done a talk at the end of February,
Yeah.
and we had no idea it
None.
was whatsoever.
None. I
I,
had
I, I hadn't heard of it. The first I heard of it was the start of March,
yeah.
and I didn't even think much of it then. I thought, oh, that's just like some sort of like thing that's happening over in China, and it's kind of spread a little.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks later, lockdown.
Yeah, no, it's just become an apocalypse. Like everything's shut down. In fact, yesterday, I was out running with another guy and the fucking like city like compliance officer pulled over and was like, "You shouldn't be running on the grass."
Oh,
Right, because the parks are closed, but to be fair, we were trying to get 6 feet away from the people on the pathway. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
oh yeah, it's just fucking chaos.
Yeah, like we have quite a lot of cop cars going up and down, but they're not really stopping anyone.
Yeah,
Like they're looking for big groups. Like, and
yeah,
since we've been locked down for over 3 weeks, I've only seen one big group.
yeah,
It was a big family of 5 or 6, and I was like, okay, that's a bit much. But
yeah.
apart from that, our parks are still open.
Oh
Believe it
really?
or not,
Oh
because like they want our parks to be open for people to like, use it for exercise, but they want everybody to exercise either within their household
yeah,
or just alone.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, my exercise has all been indoors because like we're only allowed to exercise once per day outside. So that like I'm doing dog walks, so that's
Jesus,
me. Yeah,
really cracking down on us, aren't they here with the old coronavirus?
yeah. I mean, like the US has went from one spectrum to the other.
I heard that
They
too. Yeah.
they weren't that fussed about it. Like
Right,
government
right.
wise, Trump was saying, "Oh, this is nothing" and all that. And then a
Yeah,
week later, he's saying, "Right, no flights are coming in."
yeah.
Like because they banned the UK from flying over there.
Did they?
They banned the whole of Europe. But we're out of the EU now, so it was all the EU countries.
Yeah.
And then 5 days later, they banned the UK. Like, but then we've got our own sort of ban now because the UK is advising everybody not to fly. Which
Right.
I'm not going to fly because you can't even get flights. So
Yeah, I don't even. I wouldn't go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere during this thing.
yeah,
Yeah. So
so like yeah,
yeah. Well then, so that's what's happening. This whole Corona thing's pretty much slowed everything down. But like we were just saying before, like I'm still making progress. Like I'm still being productive, man.
yeah. Well, life goes on because the way you look at it is anything could happen to you.
Mm.
Like there could be actual things that aren't like coronavirus. It could be something that happens like a car accident or
Mm.
so, and you've got to adapt. So it's just about adapting. The
Mm.
first couple of days are a bit tricky because you're used to kind of doing this or doing that,
Mm.
but after a few days, like you were saying, like you were telling me, you're into your meditation, you're
Oh
adding
yeah.
minutes onto that. Like
Oh yeah, bro.
that's a thing. Yeah,
Straight up, I added an extra meditation session, man, in the morning. I've been doing a lot of work on the ball, on those yoga balls. I'm standing on that thing for like an hour. I started training a little bit
yeah,
of martial arts with this other guy that we're kind of exchanging value. Like, man, it's like I'm not fucking around with this. Like, I mean, I don't know. I heard people are sitting around Netflix binging and shit. Like, I don't know. That's fucking stupid. Like,
yeah. But like a lot of people are complaining bored, but then they're just watching the Netflix, which one episode might take that boredom away, but when you just keep sitting watching it,
oh
it's going
yeah,
to affect you.
yeah. It's
You
like
start,
here and there. Like,
yeah,
yeah, watch a movie or something here and there, but it's like people just
yeah,
binge and just
because I watch like one movie a week, like, but sometimes even less. But what I've been doing is because it's been nice here, I've just been taking my tablet outside, watching a movie outside, so I'm getting the fresh air. I just watch a fun movie on a Sunday,
mm.
but apart from that, like I don't watch much TV at all.
I don't even like TV anymore, man. I don't even hardly watch. I don't even watch Hollywood movies, man, anymore. I don't like the narrative. It weirds me out.
Yeah, I like it from time to time, but like I prefer more lower budget movies.
Mm-hmm.
Just something a bit kind of more like up and coming, and you don't
Mm.
know the actors and stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
something just a bit like I say, like TV is good now and then, but
Mm.
what all these binges like
Ugh.
they're not. That's not what this is about. Like this is about actually improving what you can now.
Mm.
Like you always talk about going out and socialise and social development and stuff like
Mm.
that.
Mm.
You're not going to be able to do that just now.
No.
So because that side of your life is going downhill,
Mm.
you can start really putting effort into your physical, your mental,
Mm.
all the free time. That's
Mm.
what I've been doing. Because I'd been out a lot before this.
Mm.
2 weeks before the lockdown, I had to cut back.
Mm.
After that, like I've been doing what you've been doing, adding 2 workouts. So rather
Mm.
than do one workout a day, I've been doing one in the morning, one in the afternoon.
Mm.
I'm doing meditation, but then I'm also just sitting doing spiritual thinking
Mm.
outside.
Mm.
I'm out all the time. I'm hardly indoors
Mm.
because we've been, like even with bad weather, sometimes I'm outside, but especially with the good weather, like because we don't get a lot of good weather, so
Mm.
I've still been doing my cold showers.
Mm-hmm. That's gangster.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like my normal showers, like because I'm so used to cold showers now, my normal showers are like a medium temperature.
Mm-hmm.
They're not that warm,
Mm.
like but it feels warm.
That's cool, man. Them cold showers. I was during the winter, bro. I don't
Yeah,
know if I mentioned this. Did I when I was sitting outside?
yeah,
Yeah, man, I was going hard. I'd sit outside for like 45 minutes, bro, in the morning.
yeah. I remember you telling, and it must get quite cold there.
Oh
So it
yeah,
must be,
bro. It was fucking
yeah,
frigid. I was getting damn frostbite on my feet. I had said fuck that. I was wearing like triple socks, bro. It was like I just like the exposure to it. It's just like I just like the like fuck this. I can do it, man. Get out here in the cold,
yeah.
bro. People be
I,
walking
I
by.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that as well because you appreciate when it's actually warm.
That's right.
I like warm weather, but because of the climate we have, like
Mm.
even right now, we're about 12 or 13 degrees, which is pretty mild.
Oh yeah.
We we get it, we don't get it. Oh, you do Fahrenheit, right? So
No,
try and
we
calculate
do
that for you. So
we do the same one you
Fahrenheit.
guys do.
Oh, you do Celsius?
Is
Yeah,
that what it's called? Like if it's like 13 degrees, like that's pretty nice.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be the same then. So, but normally we don't get it too cold either. It does get freezing, but it doesn't get like
Yeah.
extremely freezing.
Oh yeah.
So in the winter time, you'll kind of get zero. We'll get zero quite a lot, and 1, 2 degrees, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
Which when you're doing cold showers and you have to get up and do them, it's quite tough.
Yeah, no,
Now,
for sure. Yeah,
now
that's
it's all.
that,
Yeah,
yeah, that's kind of too why I don't bother as much with the cold showers and stuff, especially in the winter, because it gets so frigid outside. It's like I'm sitting out there for an hour. It's like, man, I'm good. Like the last thing I want to do is get in a cold shower. But I guess there's something to be said for it too. So
yeah. Well, I mean, if you're doing that and replace the cold shower, then that's your thing. Like,
that's what I think.
see,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like cold exposure, bro. I'm getting the point is I'm doing it right.
yeah. Cause it's just kind of like adjusting your body to it because your body does adjust after a while.
Yeah,
Now,
dude. A guy used
yeah,
to come by once in a while and sit with me, and like I just watch him squirming. He'd just be squirming. I'd be like, "What are you doing?" He'd be like, "Can we go in?" I'd be like, "What are you doing, man? Come on,
yeah,
take it easy, bro. You're all right." It's just like control your temperature,
yeah,
man. Control your
yeah.
body temperature.
They're just not used to it at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
So we're going to discuss like tips and stuff and how
Yeah,
when you're in this sort of lockdown. Like, I mean, each country's different, but overall, most countries are on lockdown now. What how you go about going from binge watching Netflix to
yeah,
going about doing meditation exercise? Like,
yeah,
what do you think? Like, because it's obviously a mental thing.
yeah.
How would you go about that then? Like,
Well, I
if
mean, yeah,
you were going from one side to the other.
yeah. Like, I mean, for me, like, it's like I don't want to rely on the society or the state anyway. So it's like
Yeah,
I feel like I should be able to be productive like regardless of what is really going on around me. So I'm still just trying to be productive as I possibly can, like within myself. And if that means adding an extra meditation, which I did,
Yeah,
like adding workouts on the ball, like, man, I don't see what the benefit is of just giving in to like Netflix binges. Like, the world's going to come back together after this. And
yeah,
there you are, going to have spent 2 months binge watching Netflix. Like, that's not productive at all.
yeah.
I mean, that's what I
I
see.
yeah, I agree with that completely.
So, I mean, the people, I think it's really going to separate. I think this is going to separate people. Like, I really do. Like, I see people out running and doing shit. And it's like other people are doing nothing. Like, other people are just panicking and they're just, they're not making any progress during this time when it's like, dude, you've got all the time in the world. Like,
Yeah,
why not start meditation? Why not start working out? Why not watch lectures or documentaries? Like, I think it's the perfect opportunity to do that. Like, and then when this thing's over, you're going to be all ready to go do something new. Like, come on, man. That's how I see it. Like, I don't know.
yeah. That's the way I see it because it's going to prepare you because this could go on until summer.
Yeah.
And when I say summer, I mean the actual lockdown. I think the whole thing's going to go on for at least another year.
Yeah.
Now, is it going to be extreme at this next year? No, probably not. But I mean, they've not got the medicine and stuff like
Mm,
anywhere near getting medication for it.
mm,
It's going to take a while until,
mm,
especially the economy's hit and stuff like that. I think it's all preparation now. There's things that aren't in your control, and there's things that are in your control.
mm,
What's not in your control is going to a nightclub
yeah.
right now.
Mm,
What's not in your control is going out and meeting up with your friends, meeting
mm,
up with that girl, going on
mm,
a date and stuff like that.
mm,
That's out of your control. You can't do that just now, but
mm,
you're strongly advised not
mm,
to.
mm,
But
mm,
what you can do is you can work on the things that you're able to do.
mm,
Go for a run, like
mm,
do your daily exercise each
mm,
day, meditation, reading.
mm.
Like I read every night. Like I really
Nice.
like reading.
Nice.
Yeah,
Actually, that's a good point too with say the girls too. It's like yeah, okay, you're not really going out and meeting tons of new girls and if you didn't already have a couple or one or whatever that you were already regular meeting up with, it's pretty tough. I mean, you could, some real gangsters would still be meeting women, but I'm just not going to bother like and it's like it's a perfect opportunity then to be like, okay, good. Let me practice now being without them. Like it's just a perfect opportunity to be like, let me practice getting
yeah,
my like feminine experience from something different, from nature, from the earth, from trees, because that's just
yeah,
going to pay off more later anyway. You always want to be deferring to not specifically
yeah,
needing like the women around you anyway. It's nice, it can be fun, but you always want to defer to I don't actually need that. It's okay if I don't have that. So this again is the perfect. Why not take this opportunity to have a month or two or whatever it is, three, basically being celibate? Like, cool, man. Control yourself. It's good. You don't need that. I see that as productive. Like,
yeah. I actually agree that way because like you can't depend on those. You can't depend on women because when you
no,
start depending on that, like you're going to end up. Like, that's going to be in your mind a lot,
yeah,
and you can't really do anything about it. I know you're saying that the gangster guy that goes, but those guys are few and far between.
yeah,
Most guys like that are even dependent aren't going to actually go and take those actions because
yeah.
like the government's saying you can. So I'm saying you've just like it's all about just like girls are always going to be there. Like
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
yeah, and there's two ways to look at it because some guys weren't even taking the action before this,
yeah.
but now it's that way. All like like I want to go out and do it, but like
Oh
what were they
yeah,
doing
that.
beforehand? You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah, you
like
can imagine there's all kinds of guys out there now. Oh, I would be going out. I would talk to that girl, but because of Corona, I can't. It's like I just
yeah,
think that's so stupid. Like, why not just now make the like choice of like, no, I'm focusing on something different. I think that's such a powerful thing. It's like, no, I don't need to talk to them. I'm gonna focus getting my experience of nature right now, of not needing
yeah,
like feminine attention. And that was a big thing I used to say back in the day anyway, was like, you ever heard of the 3 second rule?
yeah.
Yeah,
I've
so
heard of that. Yeah, I know it.
yeah, it's just like in 3 seconds you got a one, two, three. Either go talk to her or don't. And I used to say that all the time. It's like, count it down and don't. Like, just be like, one, two, three. Nah, I don't want to. At least you made a decision, right? That's the
Yeah,
important thing. It's like, at least you made the decision. Like, no, I don't want to. I'd rather sit here on my own. It's more enjoyable. And that's the thing that guys never do, right? They flip flop. Oh, maybe later. Oh, I would have, but she was fucking on a bike, or maybe. It's like, dude, just make the decision. No, I don't want to. That's what I see.
yeah. I think the reason why a lot of guys struggle with decision is because one of the main reasons, one of the main decisions you have to make is yes or no. Like, am I doing it or am I not?
Mm.
But more importantly, what's right and what's wrong? Like, is that the right decision to do or is that the wrong decision to do?
Mm.
And the answer is there's no right or wrong.
Mm.
It's just a decision that's there. Like, it could be right, it could be wrong.
Mm.
Like, so I don't dwell on the answer.
Mm.
I just dwell on what I think the answer is.
Mm.
Because that's how I base things. Because too many people, like you're saying, flip flop, and it's too indecisive.
Mm.
Just make a decision.
Mm.
Yeah, like just decide. Like, okay, I'm going to start doing cold showers in the morning, or I'm not.
Mm.
Because there's no. Like, I think they're beneficial. But the point I'm trying to make is each person's allowed to make the decision they want.
Mm.
But when you make that decision, that's it. Just stick with it. And then if you're not happy with that decision, then change it. But don't flip flop. Yeah, definitely don't flip flop.
Yeah. No, sorry, I had a little bit of a poor connection for a second there, but yeah. No, I hear you with
That's
the
okay.
yeah, with the don't flip flop. I hear you, and it's even like you're right with the cold showers. It's like, say for example, what I was doing, where I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna take a cold shower. I'm just gonna sit in the cold for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Like, okay, cool, man. That's your decision. Good. Go ahead. Great. It's like, just make the decision and who cares? It's like, I think that's just such a powerful thing, like for a man to do that. It's just like, that's just gonna bleed over into everything. It's like, no, I don't, and it's like being able to say no too. That's a big thing that I'm interested in now too. It's like
yeah,
being able to say no to a relationship if it's not working. Just like, no, this isn't working. Like, no. And like that puts you in a position of power, which is where you want to be. It's like you're setting up higher standards for yourself. Like you need, like, it's like you need her to qualify herself. It's like, girl, you need, like, why? Like, I don't really want to. Like, tell me why I should. That's powerful, right? It's
yeah,
like Dan Bilzerian, again, going back to Dan Bilzerian, it's like that was one of his key lessons, right? Although he's not like a teacher, he doesn't like but that was just one of his key like thoughts of wisdom on the
it's
subject.
natural. Yeah,
Natural, yeah. And well, he worked at it too, but one of his key thoughts of wisdom was like, he was like, yeah, I mean, like, a girl has to chase me. He was just like, I mean, she has to, like, or I'm not even into it. Like, why would I? Like, I don't. She has to like chase me. She has to like she has to win me over. Like, I don't understand why I would hang out with her. Like, I have to be shown why that's beneficial, and
yeah,
that's coming from him, right? That's just such a high level frame.
yeah. That's coming from abundance mentality. Then
Mm.
he's got that abundance that he's not afraid to lose them.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're not afraid to lose it, when you're not afraid to lose anyone, then you're more simplified. You're more relaxed because you're not depending on that person.
Mm.
Yeah. So can you hear me? Okay, yeah.
It's breaking up a little bit, but you're all right.
Lagging a little.
Little bit, yeah. I'm not sure if there's anything you can do or what, but
In my head, so again, that helps. That better.
It's about the same, I guess.
Just the same.
Yeah.
It just must be the connection then.
Oh
But
yeah. Well, whatever.
we'll make the most of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but that's how, like, see if, like, one of the big benefits of making decisions, just being more decisive and
Mm,
knowing what you're kind of doing with your time,
mm,
that helps me, is scheduling.
mm,
Like, my whole week's scheduled, so I know what I'm doing, like, basically every day. Now, does the schedule has it got flexibility in it? Yeah, it does.
mm,
But I have a set routine that, like, okay, at this time I'll wake up,
mm,
go and get my cold shower, do my
mm,
meditation, do my workout at this time, like, do exercise in the afternoon at this time, read a book at this time, go to
mm,
sleep at this time.
mm,
So I'm quite structured that way, because
mm,
what that helps with is you're quite accountable for your
mm,
time. So,
mm,
like, if I'm thinking what am I going to do right now, I already know.
mm,
I already know what I'm doing.
mm,
Like, so my whole days are scheduled. Now, you can always be flexible with it. Like, if something more important comes up in your schedule, then that's fine. But
mm,
it's definitely helped me, that, because when you're in a routine and you know what you're doing, then there's no excuses.
mm,
Like, and it also just motivates you better, because, like, let's say I didn't have this schedule, it's a lot easier to just do nothing.
mm,
Whereas, like, I know, like, I play guitar, so at 5 p.m. every day, like, I play guitar, like, for an
mm,
hour. Like, I'm
mm,
just using that as an example. Like,
mm, mm,
I go to sleep at 11:30,
mm,
wake up at 6:30. So,
mm.
like, everything schedules helps.
I agree with that, man. And like times when I've gone away from like my schedule and my routine and my structure, things just get all messed up. Like
Yeah,
I'm only trying to get more structured, more routine, more discipline. And yeah, okay, you can remain flexible to make a game time decision when you have to. But generally speaking, man,
yeah,
yeah, bro, I'm all about that. Like let's get more structured, more routine, tighten it up, tighten it up. And that's how you produce results over time. Like I agree with that, man, 100%.
yeah. It just, because, like you're saying with the results, like, because you're keeping at it every day, but
Mm,
it just takes a lot of pressure off
mm,
like, that certain person. Like, because if you're going through life, like, not waking up at the same time,
mm,
but then you wake up late, or you wake up too early, and then you're all kind of, you're
mm.
just in that sort of phase, like, floating about, and, like, oh, will I do this? Will I do that? What am I going to
That's
do? Like,
yeah,
you've
that
got
shit's
that structure
stupid.
happening now.
It's like
Yeah,
go hang out with some hot girl and act like that and see how she feels about it.
yeah. That's why I remain with this flexible thing, because, like, when I told someone this before, right? Like, now, this is a true story. Like, I was telling someone, like, about this advice. But the reason that I brought up with this flexible thing is because when I was telling them the advice, they were saying, "Oh, I was out with this girl, but, like, because I had band practice at 5, I had to cut the day short." And I was like, "Oh, come on!" Like,
So guys,
that's why, like, yeah,
that's
you
what
can be
guys do.
flexible with
Yeah,
it.
that's what guys
Yeah,
do, man. No, I hear you, but the principle is still true. It's like I remember one time I was hanging out with this girl and she was like, "Oh, blah blah blah. Do you want to come over in here and meet my friends? Blah blah blah." And it was a couple dudes. You know, it was like a couple
yeah,
dudes, you know, and a chick or something, and you know, I was just looking over there. It was just like a beautiful day, and I was just like, nah, no. Like I just made a decision. I was like, nah, I'll just live with it. No. And then so she was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go talk to them. I'll come back in a bit. I was like, yeah, all right. So she went over, talked to them, and came back, and she was like, oh, blah blah blah. Anyway, that's this guy, and he's like a multi-millionaire and the head of some fucking like company, and this other guy's fucking worth millions. I was thinking like, oh fuck, I should have gone over. But you know, at the time, I made the call, and even after she came back and told me all that, I was like, well, whatever. I made the call. I'm happy about it. So just make it. Just
yeah. I mean, you knew you made the decision. Like, you're kind of thinking, "No, that would have been a good benefit for me
Yeah.
just to kind of learn with those guys and stuff like that. But you did that's easy in hindsight.
Yeah.
It's easy in hindsight
Of
to say
course.
things like that. Like the thing is, you made the decision.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't unsure about it.
That's
You
right.
just said,
That's
well, I want to do this right now.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was still
that's key.
I was still glad I made the decision. Yeah, man. No, that's 100%. No, there's one thing I want to bring up. I don't know if you
Yeah.
noticed. Do you subscribe to Derek? To Derek's channel on YouTube?
I don't subscribe, but I am on his channel. I do see like some of his videos from time to time, just through kind of like the other
Yeah.
guys like Matt and stuff.
Okay, yeah, because he just had a. I attended a live webinar of his a couple of days ago. He's gonna relaunch his product from last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
So
kind of cool. I like him. I like a lot of his mentalities on things.
yeah, he like is he American or Canadian? I always get
He's
mixed up.
American. Yeah, I think he's from like the
Yeah, he's
Chicago area. Yeah.
oh, he's like Midwest kind of way.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, well the good thing about him is he's got a lot of experience with this
Oh
because
yeah.
like he's been doing this for many years now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's quite good with the way that he illustrates things as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No. So
like
yeah. So,
because he was one of the first to
oh
like,
yeah.
he was one of
Yeah. Yeah. It was
the
like
instructors.
it was like him and Tyler, and like the other guy Nick,
Yeah,
and like a couple of other guys. But yeah, there were. I noticed the other day I went over to check out old Ozzy's channel. I noticed he's not there anymore.
oh is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he was the European guy.
Yeah. I think he was Spanish or something.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
He left the old company, did he? Fuck.
There's quite a few that left. Like, I remember Todd.
Yeah,
Remember
Todd.
Todd?
Oh yeah, I love Todd, man. Must have been.
He was he's very analytical.
Yeah.
Very analytical.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his own channel.
No, I know. I check his stuff out. He'll be all right, man. He's got a big following anyway. Yeah, must have been a sad
transition.
Yeah. No, he'll
More
turn.
went over to the Beltway.
Yeah, it must have been a sad old day when Ozzy left. He'd been there forever, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was one of the OGs. Yeah. I mean, I wonder why he left then.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, he probably just
didn't.
It was a quiet separation. That's all right. Not like when Todd left, there's a big fucking controversy, but that's okay. I'm sure it was kind of a mutual split, probably.
Yeah, but as far as I know with Ozzy, like, he'd really cut down with a lot of his content the last few years. He wasn't putting as much up, so maybe it was just going to go that way anyway.
Yeah.
Everything's changed the last few years. Like the way the world's going, it's becoming more PC. Like 2-3 years ago, it was bad. Now it's just getting ridiculous.
It's fucking insanity. Like I don't even know what, like, it's like living in a fucking fairy tale land. Like it's fucking nuts. You don't want to be like, I don't want to be one of those, like, what do you call them, MGTOW, fucking MGTOW guys, you know? It's like that's not really productive, but it's like you do hear some of this shit and you just think, well, like, fucking hell, like this is just insanity. Like this is not good for anyone. Like, what the fuck is going on? But that's, I guess, what's happening. So it's
yeah, like I mean, it's the whole equal rights thing and all that. It's just that all that's good. I think it's a great thing, but it's just when it becomes not equal rights, it goes in the other.
Oh
the other
yeah,
way.
It's like
that's when there's issues. Yeah,
it's fucking crazy. It's just a total and complete misunderstanding of, like, the nature of women. Like you're just totally missing it. Like, you think some hot woman wants to be treated like some fucking bro, like your bro?
Yeah.
Are you on fucking meth? Like, you go ahead and do that, and you see how that works for you. She don't want to be treated equal to your fucking bro. She wanted to be treated severely differently, radically differently, way differently than how you want to be treated. You. What the fuck? It's like, good luck, bro. You want to do that? Go ahead. Like, I'm in a different marketplace than that. You want to learn how to actually behave? Come talk to me. Talk to fucking Ritchie. Talk to some guy with some actual sense in his head, and you'll make progress. You want to live in a fucking fantasy land? Go watch a Disney movie and listen to some fucking, anyway, whatever. You get the idea.
Yeah. That's why a lot of guys are struggling these days, though, because like the whole way that the feminism movement's moved is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I believe in equality. I believe that women should be treated equally as men. But that's very, like, when I say equal, I mean they should just be treated equal in a civilized society.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah, like I'm going to say thank you to each person, not based on their gender, just based on I'm thanking them. Like,
yeah, of
all
course.
that kind of thing. Yeah, but like obviously there is differences, as you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's biological differences. Yeah.
Massive, huge differences.
But to me, that's common sense.
Not to some fucking fucking weirdos. It ain't common sense.
Because I mean, it's just a crazy topic though. Because I mean, like, I get why it's went that way, because the way that the governments have allowed it to go has caused that. Like, there's been no putting the foot down and saying no, enough's enough. Like people have took the equal rights to the extreme measures and got away with some absolute bullshit. Like, and I'm just calling it out as it is, because like, some of the stuff's like crazy these days with the whole political correct thing and stuff like that. That like you're not even going to be able to open your mouth. Like, and I think with the whole internet, like the whole internet movement, with the mobile phones and stuff like that, that's just amplified everything.
Yeah.
That you get caught. You get like some politician gets caught in. Like, like our chief medical officer that's doing like. Although Scotland's part of the UK, we've got our sort of own rules to some extent. So it's like we've got like the First Minister, like, who's in charge of like Scotland. Like, but then see the one that was doing all the like medical stuff to do with this coronavirus. Like, she was telling everybody to stay at home and stuff like that, and then she went on a family trip 2 hours north, and she had to resign from her job. Like, because it all came out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was a bad move, but I'm just saying that everything's overexposed now.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, like I'm just gonna be very fucking blunt about all that. Like I'm not gonna involve myself with any of that type of stuff at all. As much as I can get away from that, I'm only interested in getting away from it because I don't think it's good for anyone. I don't think it's healthy. I sure as fuck do not think that type of thing is going to help women at all. It's a total and complete, a utter and fully misunderstanding of how they operate, how they fucking behave, how they think, what they're actually going to respond to. If a young man thinks that's going to work and produce favorable results for him and some type of productive relationship with a woman there, and he wants to carry on like that, I am seriously fearful for like what's going to happen to him. Like that like he's his whole life, like he's putting his whole life at risk. Like that's insanity. That's flying in the face of like 200,000 years of fucking evolutionary biology. And yeah, it's just, I'm sorry if I'm being like a little bit firm with it, but I don't think it's going to work. It's not productive.
Yeah, well, the thing about mean, it sounds bad, but he's putting their life at risk as well. Because I mean, that's extreme measures, but like you have to think in those terms because if you don't, then these guys just keep going and getting complacent. You just never know. Like I'm saying, like if he's acting a certain way, that's going to extremely frustrate him, which may lead to him doing things that were out of his character because it led him down that path. Like you've heard the stories, like these crazy kids that like just had no female interaction. They were just all the guys all the time. But I'm talking extreme measures, and they've done some crazy shit. Now that's I'm not saying every guy's going to do that. Very few are. I'm just saying you're adding the percentages on. Yeah, but like you partly like everybody's held accountable for what they do. Society is to blame on the whole for that. Like, and I get why society wanted to be more civilized. Like we've got houses now, we've got cars, like we've got public transport, we've got food just when we want it. We can just go to the supermarket. We don't have to go out and hunt anymore. So like I see why everything went that way in the first place because it made sense. Like it was a better life for everybody. But now it's just when they like now it's like TikTok and yeah, like what 8-year-olds on TikTok and
it's just like it makes me sad because it's like it's just like a dark road. Like I don't like to see guys go down a dark road because it's not good for them and it's not good for the women. Like the women don't want that. They're not going to respond to that. And it's just like, you'd be better off just you'd be better off just hearing this type of message and being like, "Oh, okay, like I get it. It's not what I've been told." And I think I'm just going to focus on something else in my life. Like, I don't quite understand how to deal with women really in this environment. I'm just going to focus on like my fitness. I'm just going to focus on like maybe my art or like my career. And it's like, I think that guy would almost be better off in that area. But to think realistically that all this politically correct shit and this like social justice warrior stuff, if a guy thinks that is like real or that stuff is like going to work for him or create results for him, like, man, that is gonna like, dude, that's gonna cause you to go insane. Like, that's not, that's like watching wrestling, like WWE wrestling.
yeah.
That's like watching WWE wrestling and then you think that like that's like a fighting competition. Like, bro, that's entertainment. That's like
Yeah.
choreographed entertainment. You should not confuse that with like, you see where I'm getting at, where it's like that's kind of dangerous because like you like watch WWE wrestling and then think that guy's gonna go in and fight Conor McGregor. Like,
Yeah.
dude, that ain't gonna happen. So, it's like I guess it's just a little bit of a lesson. Like, whatever. Like, I encourage you guys to do their own research. Like, figure it out for yourself if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, all that stuff's all the goodness. Like TV's very smart that way. That they put everything. It's a show. Like I mean, obviously UFC and boxing is real, but it's still a show. Like when you watch it on the screen, it's all the like you don't see them getting up in the morning, doing the training, doing all this, like all the hard work. You just see all the glory. So that's why Disney comes back to this because those guys like they'll see the glory side, all like that's a little romantic thing and all that, but then they don't see the hard work, like because TV doesn't show the hard work. Because hard like to show hard work would be boring, like on a TV scale because like obviously if you showed little clips of it like they do, that's exciting, all that's seeing them train. But if you had to watch a 3 hour show of watching someone go on a treadmill for 2.5 hours and then like you probably just want to do it on your own. You probably just say, "All right, I'll turn the TV off and I'm just going to hit the treadmill." Like it would bore people. So like TVs want to show the big spectacle, like, all the crowd, like you're saying WWE. I've not watched WWE in years now, but I
Mm.
used to watch it when I was young. And it used to be good. The
Mm-hmm.
90s.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and that's just like WWE. That's a fun thing to watch.
Yeah,
But
like it's
like, yeah,
entertainment. Like it's entertainment. Like I'm not saying it isn't like a physical activity. I'm not saying it isn't difficult. Of course it is. It's
yeah,
very physically demanding, but if you begin to confuse that with a real fighting competition, you're going to
yeah,
have a serious problem on your hands. And that's the thing. It's like, and that's my kind of issue with that is like I see over and over again like with guys is they just don't comprehend how to
yeah,
engage with women in a meaningful way. They don't get it. They don't get it. And it leads to huge problems, man. Guys get so um discouraged, bro. They get so confused and so upset and like they just turn to like video games or like fucking who knows drinking or watching sports too much
yeah,
and it's just like it or they get in relationships that are unhealthy and it's like I don't want that. Like I don't want a guy to be in an unhealthy relationship. I don't want a girl to be in an unhealthy relationship. Like I want people to understand realistically how the different sexes behave and how they can work together to progress and to be productive. Like that's all that I'm saying. And all I'm saying is the politically correct stuff doesn't overlap with that at all. It's like a fantasy world. There's nothing to it.
yeah. It's like you touched on. You're better making your decision based on your own experience. Like, okay, I'm going to try this. Let's see how it is. Then I can have a base to really find my answer.
Mm,
Might not find the full answer, but you'll like, okay, I know kind of that's right for me that direction. No, it's wrong for me that direction.
mm,
As you're saying, like you could get into like your physical, your like for some guys that's better just now. For some guys, I think okay, well, it's obviously just now you're going to have to do that. But let's say that the lockdown wasn't on. Maybe for those guys, it's better to spend 2 months going skiing.
mm,
Like right, okay, I'm going to do some skiing, snowboarding, do some runs up the hills.
mm,
Like, then I can go back to doing my socialising, then I can go back to like, meeting these girls and stuff because my physical, my mental will be a lot more in line with who I am. Like,
mm,
that's fine. Like,
mm,
because like, at least those guys are working on something.
mm,
But, like, if you paint the other like, example of, okay, I'm going to take 2 months off because I'm not doing good, I'm just going to sit and play video games all day then that's a sort of victim mentality.
mm.
Which, so like, how do you get out of victim mentality? Then you just don't allow it in the first place. That's my number one rule. Like, you sort of be responsible for who you are. Like, see if something's not working. Always ask yourself, like, am I doing anything that's making it not work?
Mm.
Because a lot of people put blame in other people. Like, oh, it wasn't the right clothes, it wasn't the right weather, it wasn't this. It was like rather than just looking at themselves and saying, "Is there anything I could do different?"
Mm.
I still use that a lot because nobody's perfect, which is probably the best quality to have in a way because you can always look to improve.
Mm.
And because no one's perfect, then there's no expectations from my side.
Mm.
That's the way I look at it.
Mm.
You're always trying to build up, but like so many people put too much pressure. And another big thing is the comparison thing. Oh, this
Mm.
guy's doing this, so I've got to do that. Like
Mm.
that that messes with your brain, like because everybody's in their own journey.
Mm.
Like so, like if it takes you 20 years to run a marathon, then it
Mm.
takes you 20 years.
Oh
If
yeah.
it takes you like some people are just going to be more natural at certain things than others. That's fine. Other people just are able to work things out quicker than others. It's like you, the only person that you should be focusing on is you. Like,
Mm.
where was I at 3 months ago? Where am I at now to things?
Mm.
That's the way I would work.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Yeah, like it's definitely not a rush. It's not a race. There's no rush. Like,
No,
you don't have to, you don't have to do that shit. Like, and that's maybe another lesson too. It's like for a guy who just doesn't really know anything about this. It's like, bro, like, you're not really even missing anything necessarily. Like, it's like, yeah, it's nice to hang out to meet lots of women. It's can be fun. It can be cool. Like, it's an interesting journey. Like, they have a lot to offer in different ways. Like, it can be like a beautiful experience in many ways. Like, but it's like you can find that other ways too. Like, and you're not like it's not they're not like that old thing. It's like they're not princesses, bro. It's like she's not a princess. You don't like you're not magically just gonna find this princess girl and then it's gonna be lollipops and rainbows. It's like, dude, it's not like that. So you don't
yeah,
even really don't bother thinking that because it isn't gonna resemble that type of thing. It's gonna be a lot different. So if you go into like some relationship thinking it's gonna be unicorns and rainbows, it's like you're really fooling yourself in a big way. It's just
yeah,
that this isn't what it's like. So
yeah. I see where you're coming from that, and when you actually think about it, like you were good before them, so you're good after them. That's what I
yeah,
think. But
yeah.
like, if you take it to when you were a young child, like that didn't interest you. Like I'm talking about when you're 5, 6, whatever. Like
Mm.
that didn't really interest you. All your interest in your toys, going out, like playing sports, doing all that.
Yeah.
So if you take it back to like those sort of child childlike times, like simpler times, like you just didn't care about that shit. So that's the kind of mentality I'm trying to get to those guys. Like that, yeah, like you're saying, it's all good, it's all added bonus, like it's nice, like you can, it's definitely going to benefit you. Like it's definitely going to benefit you, but there's other things that can benefit you as well.
Yeah.
Like yeah, because if you go down that path too much and stop doing everything else,
Yeah.
then that's going to have issues as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
like yeah,
Yeah. No, for sure. Like, absolutely, because there really is like, yeah, like I guess I just always like to see, like, I mean, you want to talk about equality or whatever. It's like I like to see more like equally like beneficial relationships. I would love to see that, like
yeah,
both men and women collaborating if possible, like and working together overall for like the betterment of our whole fucking species. Like that's what I would like to see. And like so I just think I'm trying to just like share here like what do I think can encourage that? Well, I think that a guy does have to see realistically how things operate. And ideally the women would too. Like it would benefit them to hear it. In fact, do you ever look at the 21 convention? Have you ever heard of that before?
20. I think I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it.
It,
21 convention.
it's
Uh huh.
kind of like I guess the competition to like RSD, like RSD's like summit. You know how they have those like winter summits or whatever in Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
yeah. It's like another company then.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a kind of like a comparable sort of thing, although it's more based around. It's more based around just like self development, I guess you could say maybe.
Yeah.
Um, where was I going with that? Yeah. Anyway,
You were talking about how things
oh
that you could encourage.
yeah, they
Yeah.
they they are gonna do one for women.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I try, it's like, man, that's like it's very ballsy of them, but I actually think they're right. Like I actually think what they're saying is kind of right. Like it would be a good idea for like say a young woman who doesn't really know how things work. It actually would be to her benefit to like go to that convention. And I know it's hard to swallow for them, but to hear some guy just like systematically explain to them like how things really work, that actually would benefit her. I know it's hard to take that, but that probably is the best decision for her.
Yeah, it would benefit her to some degree. I mean, like, especially if he's painted it more on a female sort of spectrum way, that, like, because, like, females don't work in systems as well.
Right, I know
That's,
that. Yeah.
yeah, that's just factual evidence. Like, they work more, like, on, like, sort of emotional levels and stuff like that, whereas, like, us guys are more, like, systematic, like, A to B, that sort of thing. Like, we work better on those systems. So, like, if he sort of illustrates it more in that way, then there's still obviously something to benefit from going. Because you'll learn something out of it, even if it's not. Yeah. So, like, but how do you get them to go in the first place?
Oh, I
That's
know.
the part. Yeah.
I know. Isn't that hard? Like it's real. It's hard enough to get the guys to go and listen, right?
Yeah.
So.
But I think when you look at it on that scale, like when you look at like the lower spectrum of guys and the lower spectrum of women, there's less women than guys on that spectrum. Like when that, like, I mean, like hard case type, but because like a lot of girls are probably like average to below average and sort of like their mindset and all that. But
yeah. I don't know, because it comes about in different ways. Like it's like I hear you in a way, because like a big portion of guys, like say 80%, like they're not going to get any success at all, like with women, really, because unless you're like in a certain like group, like a certain percentile, you're not going to get any. So it is unfortunate in that way, because you've got this huge portion of guys who are just completely lost and aimless and aren't getting any success at all. Whereas with the women, you're right, a, a, a much larger portion of them are getting some success.
Yeah,
right. It's like there's much, like you might get 60 or 70% of women generally are still getting a lot of success, partners, relationships, blah blah blah. So their game is a lot different, right? It's like, but it's still a small percentage of the women, I think, generally who get linked up with the cool guys, right? Because there's still only a small proportion of cool guys to go around.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think like the percentage is a lot higher because like they can get by more,
right?
Like on that sort of way, but maybe it does add up, and sort of when you look at their whole life, like
yeah,
they're not getting the cool guy; they're just getting the guy that they'll get by on. Yeah,
right.
like,
yeah, and that affects.
But for guys, that's a lot harder because they don't get away with that.
No, like it's like it really is this thing, man, where it's like I think like we as a society, man, like I think we can do better, like I think we can do better with like helping like men and women get along better and have like more productive relationships, because it doesn't have to be so like confrontational and so unfortunate. If everyone, if both men and women each kind of work in their own way, we can increase those odds, right? Like you can have a lot more cool guys, and then you can have a lot more girls who understand how to deal with the cool guys properly, and they can produce relationship together. So that is, I think, better for everyone,
Yeah, it's like a cycle. If you get the sort of root of the problem, and then you start building on that, then it works in favour for the men and the women, and like just the whole of society. You're saying, yeah, I see that, yeah. I mean, these things take time though, because like the way I see it is sort of like things are too easy in ways.
Yeah.
It makes people not work as hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's so much easier to just like a few years ago we didn't have things like Netflix and stuff like that. Like so it's a lot easier just to kind of passively pass the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, it's like there's so much time for these things to develop though. Like all it takes is sort of getting some orders in place and really really pushing the boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. And then you just get like those few guys like, like Dan Bilzerian again. He's like, it's like there's he's getting all the success. And it's like, it's like even say like with like Tyler and them guys at RSD and stuff. It's like, it's like he'll get like shamed and like as if what he's doing and saying is so bad and blah, blah, blah. But it's like realistically, like the truth of the matter is like, he's doing a good thing. Like what he's doing is a good thing. It like genuinely and truly, not in like a fake like politically correct way, not in like a fake like politician or fucking or some like weird corporation who's just trying to capitalize. Like, I mean, he like legitimately and genuinely is doing, I think, the right thing where he's trying to share this knowledge that was really tough for him to figure out, and he's just trying to share that with guys so that they can improve their lives and share that life with a fucking woman, which is exactly what she wants. Like it just really is the truth. And it's okay. It's like, just because the mainstream doesn't like how that looks or doesn't like how that sounds when he explains it, they shame the guys. And it's like, yeah, well, I don't necessarily like how it looks seeing some girl getting ready to go out at night. I don't want to watch her pick out her makeup for an hour and then try on 10 different pairs of shoes. Like, I don't want to see that realistically. Like, sure, I'd love to meet her when she's all ready to go out. That'd be cool. But I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to fucking see it all. And it's the same thing. Like, that's how I look at it.
Yeah, everything gets taken out of context. Like when you see those sort of clickbait sort of videos that like Tyler posts and stuff like that, that's just to grab your attention.
Yeah.
Then like you know what he's like. He goes into like talking about all different topics for 2 to 3 hours. Like, and his videos are long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really long. Like, but they're very in depth. Like, you can learn a lot from them.
Oh
like,
yeah.
But you learn more from taking the action. He's just pointing you in the right direction.
Yeah.
That's what a good coach does, just point you in the right direction. The problem is that when the people that aren't into those videos watch them, they just see the clickbait video, don't really watch it properly. They just think, oh, that guy's out to cause trouble.
Yeah.
Like when people jump to conclusions, then that's when they get the wrong information.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they don't, and it's like, I think that's one of the real issues with our whole society is like, we don't want to listen to people. Like, we don't want to like conversate with people. We don't want to be understanding to people. We just want to like point the finger and fucking get hysterical about things. I mean, that's what I see. Like that's, I guess, not in like a big fucking MGTOW way, but just in like it does sometimes make me feel like, I'd almost rather. I think I kind of am going in this direction. Like, I just rather look into something different now. Like, I just feel like that's cool. Like, I always love spending time with women. Like, I always love meeting them. But it's like, I just feel kind of like I sort of am a bit confused sometimes with our society. I don't quite get what it's about now, and it's like, maybe it's just opportunity to do something different. Like, I don't know, fucking spend time with nature, or learn to fucking some art or some shit, or travel some. It's like, why not? Like, it's an opportunity. Like, that's kind of how I'm beginning to think. I think.
Yeah, well, I've always been that. Well, not always, but like the last few years, like I've been doing that alongside kind of like going out doing socialising, but like what I notice is there's a lot more distractions, like in society now. So a lot of people are more distracted. Like, you can walk about with a mobile phone.
Mm.
You can have headphones on, listen to music, all that sort of thing. Like, so a lot of people don't open their eyes.
Mm.
Like, so, like, when I was I walk. There's a park like 10 minutes from where I live and stuff. Like, when I'm walking through it, I'm looking at the trees and saying, "Oh, there's the trees," and there's like, I'm really into like looking at nature, just sort of naturally when I'm out, just thinking about like, oh, like, the sky's really blue today, and all, like, just kind of like nice little nature things like
Mm.
that you take for granted, or a
Mm.
lot of people take for granted. Like, but there's more distractions, so you have to figure out what distracts you.
Mm.
So like so I'll give you an example for me. So like when I'm out, the mobile phone's turned off unless I'm meeting someone. Like
Mm.
I either don't take my mobile phone out or I turn it off, and the only time I keep it on is if I'm actually going to meet someone, so that I can text them saying I'm there and stuff. Like
Mm.
because like what I've found is that that's a big distraction for people because like nowadays people are walking their dogs and they're on mobile phones. Like
Mm.
it's yeah, like so it's just the best way to take away distractions is not really have them there. So like I know some people do need their phone with them, so just turn it off.
Mm.
That's the best solution because then you're not that way of, oh, I've got to go on it.
Mm.
Like because when it's off, it's off. You don't really care. Like but it's that sort of it's like the next little dopamine hit. Like, oh, like what's
Ugh.
this news break? What's this? Or who's texting? Like
I
time
know.
and place for that. Yeah,
When I used to like do a lot of texting when I would talk with different girls and stuff, I used to only text twice a day. I would text them.
yeah.
I would text them all at 10 and then all at 7. I would text them all in the
Oh,
morning
oh,
and then
yeah,
again all at night. And I would just be like whichever ones responded, whatever. But I tried not to even text anyone during the day unless it was urgent, like meet here, meet there. Like it's just not. It's not the way that people engage, man. It's not how we've been engaging for our species for fucking 200,000 years. Like, and these little tiny like outrages and these little hits of attention, like that's not going to produce happiness, man. That's not going to produce like really real fulfillment. Like,
yeah. It's not like they're just temporary.
yeah.
They're just temporary, but it's not going to actually get real fulfillment.
Mm.
Whereas if you're reading up and learning about Native Americans,
Mm.
learning about World War Two,
Mm.
like learning about geography, like
Mm.
I really like I read up in geography, like climates and all that, like because it's so like to me it's so interesting. Like
Yeah.
how we've got this world and there's so many different weather patterns and
Yeah.
like we've got the northern hemisphere, the south, like, and the thing is, like, it takes a while to get into those sort of things
Mm-hmm.
because, like, there's like I was saying with the Netflix thing, though, that's just passive. Like,
Mm.
you're really a passenger when you're doing those things.
Mm.
Whereas when you're learning and reading up in this different thing and that, like, you're having to engage.
Mm.
So it takes quite a while to get into that, but once you get into it, then you really enjoy it because
Mm.
then you're using your mind and you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, man, totally. And look how that's like an active approach. It's like, no, I want to learn
yeah,
this. It's like that's how you want to be living. Like I want to do this, I want to do that. Like just if you can live your life like that, you can be more satisfied with yourself and then you're not this like passive just passenger like you say. And that's when you get yourself mixed up because that's how then those guys think, "Oh, this girl's suddenly going to solve everything for me." It's like what again, dude, you're just being like a passenger. Like, oh, here she's so beautiful. It's so nice. She smells like fucking strawberries. It's like,
yeah,
but bro, if you were just even if it was just like you say, like learning about geography, it's like you're better off. I mean, it's true though. Like you're better off learning about geography because then at
yeah,
least you're doing something actively and then you have something to share with a girl. It's like, "Oh, hey, I'm really
yeah,
into geography. Do you want to come like I got this cool map? Do you want to come look at these mountains just outside of town with me? Like that might be fun." Think about how much a girl would appreciate that. Like you think about some girl who spends her, no disrespect though, but spends her time figuring out how to dress and oh, I've got the perfect outfit for a fucking for an outing out to the fucking mountains, and if only I had a cool guy to go with. You think about what a gift it is to her for a guy to be able to like present that to her as like an opportunity. Like, hey, I'm really into geography. I've been looking at these maps and fucking on the mountains that are outside town. Like, why don't you come with us? I'll bring some sandwiches or some shit. She would love to do that shit. She would fucking love it. And I might even tell her, don't bring your phone. I don't want you fucking Snapchatting it the whole time either. But like, I mean, I don't want you fucking Instagram storying that shit, girl. This is for you and me. Let's go. But think about how much she would love that. And it's like, that's the thing again that the mainstream doesn't understand. They're so disrespectful to women because they don't understand her fucking like emotional state. They don't understand what it would be like for her to be able to go and have that type of experience. That's something that would be meaningful to her. And you don't think that she wants that? You don't think that she would enjoy that with a cool guy? It's like you're not acknowledging what her life is like. You're trying to paint her as a creature that she isn't. If that isn't fucking unfair, I don't know what is, man.
Yeah, I mean, because like, when you bring that knowledge to like, that girl, you're sharing it.
Yeah.
Then they might look it up themselves. They might think, oh, like he told me about that today. I'm going to look that up and learn. And then they're engaged. You're sort of passing your knowledge on, like. But and then they go and like, then they come back. Or we go to the mountains the week after. Oh, I learned that thing about that. Oh, so now I'm learning. Oh, what, do you know what I'm saying? So it all creates like, positive vibes, like you say, the government sort of painting them in a particular light. They are to an extent, like, but like anyone that's got like some basic common sense would know that that's not like you go and find your own answers. That like I mean, when I say it's common sense, like it is common sense, but for some people it's not because like they're just so used to like, oh, that's the way that this happens and that's the way that this happens, like. And that's fine if you want to live with it, because like maybe for some people they think the way that the government's going and all that like is in the right direction. Like, but if they've done their research, then fair enough. But if they've not done their research, then but if you're doing like meditation and like reading up in geography, going like hikes and all that just adds value.
Yeah.
That just adds like definitely.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's what we want. Valuable people doing valuable shit. And that way we're all going to be more happy and more positive, and we have less reason to fucking hate each other. I mean, we should all remember it was only a fucking 100 years ago when you and I both would be sitting in the trenches with waiting to fix bayonets. It was only 100 years ago. And it's like, wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take much for that still to be the case. So we should always look to that situation and say, like, okay, well, the most important thing is that we all work towards being more productive and valuable and happy together, and to share that with each other, because some of you guys forget it was only 100 years ago when you were sitting in a trench beside your best friend, starving to death, waiting to be gassed. And oh, by the way, just so you know, 20 years later, we had an even bigger one.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that, because when you actually look at it, like, we're naturally all lazy. but only now.
Like, yeah.
100 years ago, we didn't have our basic necessities. Like, we were starving, we had lack of water, we didn't have much shelter. Like, because all those things, our sleep was off, all the basic things that a human needs. Now we have them easy. Now we don't have to even think about those things. So, like, as humans, we're built to sort of get what we need, and then that's us done. That's the way we're built. That's the way I see it anyway. So it's like, so the reason that all this self-development and all that's come out is, how can you benefit from having those basic necessities and then taking it one step further and adding to those basic necessities? Because you don't want to just be stuck, okay, I've got my basic necessities, I'm good. Because hundreds of years ago, that's the way that people were. But the reason that they were like that was because to get their basic necessities in one day was quite odd. That was like a rare day. So they had a reason to be lazy.
Mm.
Like, okay, now I'm going to rest because
Mm.
it's took me 3 days to get all this shit. We don't have that anymore. So now you want to go up the ladders. Now you want to start progressing up the ladders.
Mm.
Or else, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But I think most people do.
We
Yeah.
all do, man. We're
Most,
all built to improve. We're all built to be productive and to work hard. Yo, it's just how you are, man. It's just that's your human fucking body, bro. Like you need to
yeah,
drink water, you need to eat food, you need to work and exercise because that's what we've evolved to do, man. We've been here for
yeah,
200,000 years. We've been doing this type of shit. And it's only been very recently that we had the opportunity to do this other shit of like
yeah,
sit around watching Netflix and complaining and being outraged and eating McDonald's. Like, I don't even like maybe it would be good for me or maybe it would be good for us. Like, I would love to find some kind of way to have like maybe some more empathy towards like these some of the people like the social justice warriors or all this type of shit. Like, I would love some way or like feminists or whatever it is. Like, I would love some way to like to work with them or like to be productive with them or to have some kind of empathy for them like where did they go wrong like how did they come into that way of being like how did they come into that way of thinking like perhaps there's something I'm missing like perhaps there's some way that like how can I add value to that like because I don't know for me I legitimately don't think it is like a healthy way to do things that's what I see.
yeah. I think if you come with it from an open mind, that
Mm,
always helps because if you come with it from an open mind, it doesn't close people off to you. It just lets them open up
mm,
because you're coming that way. So, like, if there's some, like, you're always going to disagree with everyone because, like, there'll be certain things that you think that I don't think. Like, I know in the whole we agree, like, overall, but I'm saying, like, I remember like 2 videos ago or something, like, there was a slight disagreement or something, but because we were open about it,
mm,
it was like it was sort of more, it was like a debate. That's
yeah.
that's I, like, so that's the so I empathise with everyone, but I don't sympathise because when you empathise, okay, like I see maybe like why that person thinks that way, but I still don't think it's right. I still think that I've got my view. Okay, maybe I learned something from it though, but maybe they learned something from me now. So it's just kind of keeping open. I think keeping open is key
Mm,
because if if you open up with people and but really are open minded, then those people are going to like come into you with a sort of positive vibe.
mm,
That positive, like rather than shut down. So like let's say like someone was like I'll just use politics for example. To
mm,
let's say someone was extremely on the left side of the left wing and
mm,
someone was right wing. You had to sit them down and meet like, and they're going to be like, oh, you're a right wing, I hate you already. Or you're a
mm,
left wing,
mm.
I hate you. Like that's not going to come to any conclusion. But if if a left wing and a right wing sat down and say, okay, I know I'm a left wing, you're a right wing.
Mm.
Let's hear what you've got to say.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
and I'll take like, and then what ended up happening at the end of that conversation was like the left wing that was 0% to the left, like zero, and then the right wing's 100%. They came in at like a slight percent. Okay, I learned that from you.
Mm,
Maybe I was a bit too harsh on that.
mm,
Okay, maybe I was a bit too
mm,
soft. Like
mm.
so, to start compromising.
Yeah. Man,
Yeah,
I totally agree with that, man. I'm always trying to think like that, and like that's where I get confused because I see like other people not doing that sometimes, and I think that in our society right now, like for some reason that seems to be almost like encouraged. This kind of like, yeah, like you said, like two different politicians, like already they don't want to hear the other politician, and it's like I don't understand that way of thinking. It's like they're just like coming into it already like, well, I don't. It's like two sports teams, It's like
yeah,
two football teams coming together. It's like, well, you're Man United, I'm fucking Chelsea. We don't like each other. It's like that doesn't make it's like okay, that's kind of one thing if it's like for a game. It's like a
yeah,
legitimate like sports game and we know that at the end of the game it's all fine. But that's why like those football hooligan guys it's so out of control because it's like, bro, this is insanity. Like, you just don't like that other guy because he likes a
Yeah.
different team. Like, no disrespect to the hooligans. I know it's a whole different thing over there, but
Well, like in the UK, we do have the hooligans, but you don't. It's all behind closed doors, that sort of thing. Like, and it's small groups of fans. It's the minority of fans. Like, but it's a good point you made, but a good example because with those hooligans, like some of those guys are going to work together.
yeah.
Like so. Let's go to the construction site during the week and let's beat each other up at the weekend. Like that's how it is. Like because it's like okay, they're my rivals. I'm with my clan. I'm my gang. Like you guys with your gang. Like that, we're going to fight you, and we don't want to know like who your grandmother is. Like we don't like. I'm like if people start thinking deeper, then there's a emotional connection because everybody has an emotional connection. As in like everyone's got family members, like you've got a mum, you've got a dad, stuff like that. Like so, like everybody's got things in common, regardless of who you are. So I think like when there's an emotional connection with someone, it breaks that barrier that you're putting up. Yeah, but I get what you're saying because I do still find it hard that like as you're saying with politics, like it's almost like everybody's just trying to scream over everyone
I
now.
know, man. I don't get that. Like,
which is sad.
yeah.
Which is really sad. Yeah, because that could be like there could be so much good that comes out of having different opinions. Because different opinions is interesting.
Yeah, man, totally. Like, I would love. In fact, I was like thinking about like if there was like some kind of like feminist, if someone who's considered herself a feminist like happened to be watching this video, like I would love to do like a vid with them. I would be open to that. Like perhaps I'm missing things. Like, and you know what? Like I often think like a lot of the things that they sort of think, like I would love if those things were true. Like a lot of what they say, like you know, like they kind of like they kind of create like an idealized like fantasy of women, and it's
Yeah,
like, yo, I would love if that were true. Like, you know, it's like if you could just like very logically discuss something with the girl and be like, would you like to get together at this time on that day? You seem like a really swell gal. And she was like, I would absolutely love that. I will see you then and there. This is a plan. This is a meeting. Okay, great. It's like that would be amazing, but like as we all know, like the reality of it is often not like that. It's very much there's a game
yeah,
involved. There's all these other things. So it's like maybe we have a lot of overlap, right? Maybe there is a lot of overlap. And maybe there'd be a lot of like, yeah, I would love if that were true too. Like, okay, great. Like, this is awesome.
yeah. I think there's definitely overlap because when you actually look at the feminist thing, like when I'm discussing it, I'm not looking at the feminists that are coming at it in a good sort of positive way because there's that.
There
Like,
must be, yeah.
yeah, like because there's like most people agree with the whole feminist thing as right. Women should be equal, stuff like that. I agree with that. Like to me that's what feminist is. But I think some feminists take like we know some feminists take it to the extreme of let's be above men. I still think there could be healthy conversations with those women because maybe those women, maybe there's a history that those women have had bad relationships.
Yeah.
Maybe they had problems with like so maybe there'll always be reasons behind why they went down that path. But maybe I could help them realise they went too far. But maybe they could teach these. Maybe they'll teach me one or two things that I thought, okay, maybe I wasn't as on point with those things. Maybe that does make. So I'm saying you'll always learn off everyone. Like, and they definitely overlap because the principle is like equality. Like, but it's just the way that you look for equality.
Yeah, because I think like we can all agree with a lot of the things. Like probably originally what it was, I think was probably a good thing. It's like because
Yeah,
back 100 years ago, you could just like have your wife like committed to an asylum if she didn't bake you breakfast, didn't make you breakfast
yeah,
quick enough. Like that's it, woman, you're out of here to the asylum with
yeah.
you. Or you could just like if she didn't like iron your clothes, you just, well, I'm gonna have to hit you with the stick a couple of times. And it's like, it's like, of course we understand now, like, okay, that really was not productive. We get that now. And maybe it took that type of like feminism to create that change. And if that was the case, like, oh, okay, like I'm glad that happened. That was brave of them to do that. But I think what's happened now, from what I can see, is like there's groups now, I guess, that call themselves feminists, I guess, and it almost seems to me they're kind of like riding on the coattails of what was something useful and like a like achievement. And it seems what they're doing is they're just like using that brand name. And it's like hard for me to see that what they're doing now is positive at all. A lot of it. That's just what I see, and maybe I'm missing a lot of things, right?
Yeah, I definitely see that as well because I mean, just I think the internet all ties in with it now because it's so much easier for like these groups to come out and stuff like that. But I think like after World War II, things started. Like, there was these movements like of the sort of feminists. I don't know if they called that at the time. I'm not sure, but
Hmm.
there were on those tracks that like let's make women equal because women weren't equal,
Hmm.
which like in today's society is wrong,
Hmm.
right? But like back in those societies, there was a total difference with equality. Like after
Hmm.
World War II, things got better. Things started like women were allowed to vote and stuff like that. Like I think
Hmm.
in the 70s they started like allowing women to vote and stuff, and then things get better. Now the last kind of 10 to 20 years, but more specifically, I would say the last 10 years, things have started, especially the last five. Things have started to take a change on like going overboard now. That like okay, a guy's not allowed to talk to a girl anymore because like that's like that's out of our rules now. Like all stuff like that. Like sort of women power, but used in the wrong connotation.
Hmm.
Like okay, like we've got to have a woman president because she's a woman. Like
Yeah.
that sort of thing like that. To me, like there's nothing wrong with having a women president, but
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
let's get her in because she's the right person for the job. Like
Totally, man. And
yeah,
it's I
so I think
100% agree with that.
yeah,
Like, of course, there's tons of women who do shit way better than I do at lots of
yeah,
things. And like that's great. Like if you know how to make a fucking like design a building, like that's amazing. Like I
yeah,
certainly wouldn't want you to in some way like not be able to do that. And I think again that's what used to happen. I think that used to happen a lot where guys would be like, I don't want a woman in my workplace and they're building a building, she doesn't know how. And it's like, yeah, I'm glad that that got sorted out, but it's like I think we kind of did that now to a degree, and it's like, okay, great. Like if you can put yourself in a position where you can design the building, it's like fucking a, that's dope. Like,
yeah. But I think that's a good point because like if you look at construction, right? I'm not very good at construction kind of things, right? Me personally, right? But
I'm not
if
either.
you had
Yeah.
this, yeah, but if you had to look at the sort of percentages, like men are more likely to be better than women at construction,
Right.
but it
Yeah.
doesn't mean they're going to be.
That's right. Yeah.
It's just a general. It's just being general, and like I think that's why some women get mixed up though because they might take that of what I said there as that's you being like against feminism.
Mm.
It's not because like if I'm going to use the next point now, like women are better at doing ballet dancing than men,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like if you said so, I've used those two. So on the factual evidence, that is the case. Now, I don't know, like there used to be this film called Billy Elliot that was like a male ballet
I
dancer,
heard
stuff
of
like
it.
that. What I'm saying, yeah, there's exceptions. Like
Mm,
it's not to say that every guy is going to be crap or
mm,
rubbish at ballet. It just means that you're probably not going to go down that route to
mm,
begin with, and if you
mm,
do, you're not going to be very good. You would have to do a lot of training,
mm,
whereas girls are a bit more slim, a bit more
mm,
flexible and stuff. So
mm,
it does suit them better. Whereas like with the construction, like men are more kind of like
mm.
stronger. They're going to lift
Yeah.
things like so. Like on the whole, it makes. But you might have an exceptional female that comes in and is chopping away. Like
Yeah,
she
yeah.
learned from her dad. So it's not to say like there'll definitely be women that are better than construction than me. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Me too. And
And
I would
yeah,
actually add on top of that too, even as another point to really hammer home this. I would also argue the ballet dancer and the construction worker, I don't see one being um, like more important than the other even.
no,
Like
I don't either.
like okay, it's like so say there's some guy who's really good at construction. It's like that's cool, man. That's awesome. Say there's a girl who's really good at ballet. That's like that's also awesome. Like I
Yeah,
don't think just because he's a man and he built a building and that's important. Look at you over there doing your silly ballet. Like, no, like that's great. Like they're both great. You see that? It's like I think it like downplays women in many ways. Like it's unfair to them because it's almost saying that like say like traditional women roles or whatever you want to call it. It's like it's almost downplaying them as if like they're not important. It's like what the fuck is that? It's like so you're a say you're a
yeah,
mother. It's like you're a mother and you raise three kids. It's like it's almost like oh that's all you did. It's like what the fuck kind of insanity is that? Like that's amazing what she's doing. I think we should be going in that direction. And just like how amazing is it what she was able to accomplish? That's incredible. Oh bro, you built a building? Okay, that's cool too, but like both of these things are incredible. Like that's how I see it.
yeah. I think like that used to be the case like years ago, especially years ago, because
Mm,
and I think that's a good point you touched on because maybe that's why some females are more like that these days in the sense of like because there was such an unjust for so many years, it's almost like they've heard from their mums and their grandparents and stuff like that that
mm.
it's almost like we've got to set it right. Like so, like it's sort of black minded them. Like try to
Mm.
think of the word, but it's sort of like
Like
tunnel
narrow
vision.
minded, yeah, tunnel vision, yeah.
Yeah, narrow minded. Yeah, like to that. Like I've got to make this right and stuff like that. Like which like equality is a great thing, and I think equality is definitely there now. There's no doubt about that. Like,
Mm,
but it's like you say about the construction and the ballet. Both of those are art in their own ways.
mm,
Like not one's better than the other because it's all perception.
mm,
Like so,
mm-hmm.
like yeah, like maybe for that person, like he's more into construction, he knows more about that, so that's great for them. Like they're more interested in hearing about construction, but maybe for the other person, it's more they're more interested in ballet, more interested in that sort of way.
Mm.
Like, but and it's like you say, like oh, like I've had three kids. Is that all you done? Like
Oh,
that's a big thing. Yeah, that's massive. That's a great thing.
and that would
Yeah,
and I almost like gee we've really been hating on feminism a little bit here but I mean one more kind of point I think we're trying to make a fair point I really do I think we're making some seriously
yeah,
fair points and trying to encourage as much as we possibly can but just a thing I could sort of see them too is like they're kind of always saying this thing like oh like you can be like the CEO the president of a company you can do that you can also raise three kids.
yeah,
You can also marry Prince Charming. You can do all those things. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know if you can really if you're really gonna be able to do all those things, like maybe, but that's kind of misleading. That's just what I would think. Like,
It's definitely possible to do them, like, but it's how good are you going to be able to do them? Like,
mm,
are you going to just be surviving on them? Like, and is the company going to actually crash because
mm,
you're the CEO because you're not able to put enough time into it? Like, it's possible. It's just, is that the best thing to do?
mm,
Then that's up to you. But
mm,
there should be no pressure to do it. That's what I think. Yeah,
mm,
and I mean, like, you have to look at it as well. Like, as a woman with two or three kids, would it be more beneficial if she's at home raising the kids and getting to see them play with their toys and be there for their birthdays, or is it more beneficial that she's got two kids and being the CEO, that on the
mm,
birthday she's got this meeting that she's got to go to? It's just like
mm.
someone's just phoned her and she's got to drive in all the way, like an hour's commute. Like, I'm saying, like, that's up to each individual. Like,
Yeah.
if you had to answer, if they were looking for advice and we're having to answer what I think's better, I think it's probably better not being a CEO and just like.
Mm,
It doesn't mean you don't have to have a job. It just
mm.
means that I think CEO is a big job. So I'm saying
And
maybe
it's
just do
also
something at times. Yeah,
it's also like it seems you're just giving over authority to that whole structure as if like somehow being the CEO and president of a big corporation is somehow like a great thing.
yeah,
It's like I don't really think like, okay, like it's something, but it's like you just became a big cog in a big machine of some corporation. Now you're the president of fucking PepsiCo. It's like,
yeah,
oh, okay, great. Now you're just shipping soda water around the world and making people fat. But it's like, but I deserved it and I'm a woman. It's like, okay, like I don't, it's, you see, it's just buying into all that narrative again. And I think what you and I are both saying is like, it doesn't even seem like that's going to work. Like, there's probably a better way. Like,
yeah. You would have to ask. Like, I would always ask myself, like, if I was in that person's, like, why you want to be CEO in the first place.
yeah,
And maybe they say, okay, I've got this tough life, I've got the kids and all that, but I want to be the CEO because I want to really, like you're saying with the Pepsi, I want to make Pepsi a lot healthier. I want to bring these new
that'd be
products in,
cool.
and
That would be cool.
yeah, that'd be cool. But if you're saying, okay, I want to be the CEO because I'm going to make a shitload of money, and then I can give it to my kids, and I get all this validation from people. Oh my God, you're a CEO.
Yeah, exactly.
Then that like, you could still do it, but then I think that's more from the wrong. That's more
Yeah,
for the
man.
wrong reasons, and it's not really like, if you're doing it for those reasons, okay, you've got money to help your kids, but you could still have money coming in that will be enough for the kids without being the CEO. Like, yeah, but if you're going at it from the right direction, then there's no problem.
It's like
I,
I
I,
sure as
I
hell don't.
think that, yeah,
I don't want to be the fucking CEO of Pepsi. So it's like if some girl wants to, it's like go ahead. I don't fucking want to do it. So
yeah. It's the same with the whole doctors and the dentists and all that, because, like, and lawyers and stuff in society, those jobs are looked at as the most, like, the, the full stable, like,
yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with doing those jobs, but if you do it for the right reason,
yeah,
that's fine.
that's
But
right.
if you
And we've
do it
all
if you do
like
it,
we've all
yeah,
met
if you do
tons.
it for the wrong reason,
We've all met tons of girls who are in med school.
I have. I've met a lot. Yeah,
We've every there was a it's like every other girl I meet's in med school. Every other girl I meet's gonna be a doctor. She's gonna be a fucking scientist. Really every there was a period where it was like literally every other girl I met was in fucking med school. Like it was like, to be fair, there is a fucking medical school here in the city, but it was like or they were like on their way. They were like, oh, next year med school. It's like you got to understand again. It's like
but they always tell you about it.
yeah,
Like, you don't ask about it. They always
yeah,
bring it up,
oh yeah,
and I think there's something that, obviously, parents are involved to an extent.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. See, now
every,
we're getting the real truth here, bro. Now we're getting down to the real truth. It sounds like me and you've been hanging
yeah,
out with a lot of the same girls, because Because it's 100% true,
yeah,
man. And this is another whole point where it's like, and this is what you and I see. This is behind the scenes.
yes,
This is what the mainstream doesn't understand. It's like you and I see this. It's like, look, man, it's a real thing where it's like every other girl has been told all day long, you can be a doctor, you're going to be a doctor. And they just get it in their mind that that's what they're going to do. And the truth of the matter is, man, I don't, it's like I almost feel bad for them because I don't even think it serves them. It's like they're just
yeah,
getting ground up by this giant corporation, this university fucking industry, and these like beautiful young women are just getting ground into the dust by these fucking textbooks and this bullshit. And it's like, for what? Like, for what? Just so you can be a fucking cog in this machine? But you're right. They tell you right off the bat. Oh, did I mention? Did
like,
I mention that I'm a doctor?
yeah. They really cut like because I remember one time like I actually sort of made a joke. Let's say like one of the girls was saying, "Oh, well, I'm going to become a doctor in 4 years," and I said, "Oh, really? Are you?" Like making a joke, and they really took that quite negatively actually. So
It's
I had to backtrack a little bit because I thought, okay, maybe they didn't get my sense of humor, but I'm saying like they were saying I am going to be a doctor.
oh
I'm like,
yeah, it's
yeah, but you can tell the way it comes because like it's almost they're saying it in a way as if like it's trained.
yeah,
They've been trained to
yeah,
say
I
it like
know,
it's that
yeah,
way. As I've got to let people know, like
yeah, yeah,
that's when you can always get that sort of vibe as in okay, those ones are maybe not doing it for the right reasons. Doesn't
yeah.
mean that they are, but I'm just saying you usually get that sort of vibe because like there's been the odd one that I've said, oh, like, so what is it you do at study? Oh, it's just meds. Like, and they play it down,
Mm,
and that's kind of like, all right, that's interesting. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I switched courses 2 years ago because
yeah.
I was really into learning about all the different medicines and how I can help people and design
Mm,
these new
mm,
vaccines. Like, then that's kind of beneficial. I'm
mm.
saying, all right, but like, oh, I'm in med school because I'm going to get paid.
Oh yeah, that's the
It's,
norm. I, I I used to say
yeah,
it's literally just her entire medical fucking career. It's just an extra 6 minutes that I have to just say,
yeah,
I agree with you. You are a doctor. That's true.
yeah,
I do agree with you. It does seem to be true that you are in fact in med school. Okay. Are we done? One more? Okay, yep,
yeah.
you're a doctor. Okay, cool. Now we can anyway.
It,
Um
it does. It puts me off though, and I
it's
mean that
unfortunate. Yeah,
intentionally.
it's not even a good thing, I don't think. Like
Yeah, it puts me off when people are sort of shoving it in your face of
yeah, they do it big time.
like almost want that
Do you know what?
validation because like, like, that's the thing. I don't give them the validation for it, right? But society does. So that's why
I
they're
know.
used to saying that to people.
Do you know
Because
what, man?
people say, "Oh
It's
my God, you're to be a doctor." That's so like,
it's real funny too that both of you and I have both had this experience because, bro, for a while there, I was like almost specializing in damn med school chicks. Like, because it's the funny thing, bro, because I come at it from a total different mindset where they ask me, like,
yeah,
well, what do you do? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, just dead serious. Like, I don't know.
yeah.
Starving artist? Homeless, maybe? Like, literally, I've said that notoriously. I'll be just like, and I'm like dressed like properly, like with cool shit on, like expensive shit, and I'll be like, I'll have like my beard, I'm like, yeah, I don't know, starving artist, I couldn't even afford to trim my beard over here. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, it's unfortunate. You say you're a doctor, all right, cool. You're gonna have to support me too. And I just like hammer that, and it just works so good because like it's coming from such a different frame from what they're used to, and they love it. They're just like, oh,
yeah,
a real guy. They don't want another Dr. Chode. They're sick of those Dr. Chodes. Half the fucking Dr. Chodes are just total nerds. They're total fucking dorks. They're just doing whatever their parents tell them. Like, okay, I'll be a doctor now. She don't want to hear that bullshit. She'd rather hang out with me. Like, she'd be like, no, no, really. Like, what do you do? I'm like, I don't know. I work at the mall. Like,
yeah.
what? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm writing some poems and shit right now. Yeah, I'm just over at the mall folding fucking jeans. Yeah, it's dope. Why, you want to hang out?
See that's a good thing though, because you took that question, added it on your terms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because when some of them have asked me before, like maybe I'll say, oh, well, I'm just doing this, just doing that, just working this job, just working that. Oh, I'm doing cold showers.
Yeah.
What do you mean about cold showers? Like, do you not have warm water in your house? I'm like, no, just going cold showers. Benefit myself.
Chicks will ask me what I do all the time, and I'll be like, yeah, you know, lately I'm really into like watching history documentaries. You know, you like history? Or I'll be like, well, what do you do? I'm like, I don't know. You know, I mean, I don't really know. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm writing something. Yo, I'm writing something. I'm writing these verses, you know? And they'll be like, really? I'll be like, yeah, you know? And it's like, oh, you just derailed the whole thing. It's like, I remember I was hanging out with a girl for like multiple months one time, And one day she's like, oh shit, I just realized I don't even know what you do. She's like, I don't even know what you do. I'm like, I don't know. I work at the fucking mall. She's like, oh, okay. It's like, she's like the fucking, some like manager at a bank or something. I'm just like, I don't know.
That's the way it is though, because like it doesn't matter. Like,
no, it doesn't matter.
That's my mindset. That's your mindset. It doesn't matter. Like, but in society, it does matter. So that's why for a lot of people they've made it matter. But like, because you've got to look at it. A lot of people aren't really into self development. Like, if you look at the mass percentages, like there's very few people that I know that would actually think about legitimately having a cold shower or doing meditation. Like, actually think about doing it, not actually doing it.
Well,
there's very few people that have that sort of mindset. Like, it's hard to find because like most people just don't do it. Things like exercise are different because they're more mainstream stuff like that. Like, if you said to someone, "Oh, you could improve by doing exercise," they're just, I know, I could do a few press ups, a couple of cardios around the blocks and that. But like, if you actually said to someone, "You could benefit by doing cold showers," they would think you're like, a lot of people would think you're crazy if they didn't really know about the concept. Like, when you explain it, they maybe think, "Oh, but you can tell that they're way off of it."
Oh yeah.
It just doesn't come into there. Like,
yeah.
Why would you have a cold shower when you can have a warm shower? They're like, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't see the benefits. Like
it's harder, yo. Do it the harder thing. Come on now, it's obvious. It's like you do the hard thing, and she wants to do the easy thing. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So you keep doing the hard thing, and you're always going to be valuable to her. That's just basic. That's basically how it works.
Yeah. And it's like meditation when you tell people about meditation. So I sit there and I don't do anything. No, you do a lot of things actually. It just appears that way. Like,
bro, I'm fucking meditating 2 hours a day, bro. Like, I'm doing an hour in the morning and an hour at night. That's a fucking lot, bro. I'm stacking that shit up right now. Yeah, bro. Anyway, I'm going hard on that, man. That's been about it, man. You know, it's focusing on that, man. I'm not too stressed about with the women. Like, I'm really trying to lean back on that in a way because I was telling a guy yesterday, like, I think I had opportunities last year with some higher level women, and I was like not even seeking it out, and it was like in the previous year before that I had been like out there banging the guns all day every day. And I might have had literally the same opportunities with that higher level of women. It was weird. I don't know. I noticed that and I was like, perhaps there's something to be like going in a different direction now. And I might still come across some of these opportunities anyway. But if I tighten my own position up, I might be able to capitalize. So I'm just starting to shift my thinking. Do you know what I'm saying? So maybe we'll just stay tuned on that and see how that goes, right?
Yeah. So what you're saying is like by taking less action and stuff like that, you've really kept your results quite consistent, even though you're putting less effort, time in.
Sort of. And this is
So,
like a higher level point, so I'm not like recommending some random dude who never took any action in his life to be like, "Oh good, now I don't have to do anything and the results will just come." It's like I'm not saying that. This is like an advanced point that I'm trying to make here. This is like an advanced position that I'm trying to shift over to, where I'm just seeing this sort of
yeah,
unfold. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, this might be something." You see what I'm saying?
yeah. Well, one of the things that I've noticed, because I sort of noticed that myself. Now, I had been going back out more consistently, but things were a lot easier because I've been doing it for so long now. Whereas if I take time off, I'm still better than I was when I wasn't doing anything 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But what I notice is when I take too much time off, like you're just that sort of like it's all the sort of like small percentages you just don't get.
Mm-hmm.
But on the whole, you still know the major percentages, so they don't leave you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that brings you to your point, as in like if you've developed the skill set, like it's like going on a bike, driving a car, and stuff like that. It doesn't leave you. It just you just might not be like at your very best in terms of like you're switched on in that way. But if you pass someone and you'll know what to do, like to like a certain degree of skill. So like, and that was just the other thing I was going to touch on. Like, if you're doing all this meditation and you're doing all the sort of the physical things and reading up about history and all those sort, they all play a part because
that's
like,
right.
You're still building up away from actually going out every day and hustling hard. Like you're just looking at different avenues now. Like okay, I can do this. You can almost scale back.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I'd rather, because I just noticed there was these couple of opportunities that came around and I thought, oh, if I had a little more internal strength, I could have really capitalized on those. Whereas previously, I just took so much action that I just brushed them off. I'd be like, it didn't work. Who cares? Next. Da 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 da. But again, I started to see like, yeah, but those were high quality opportunities that if I could have actually capitalized on a few of those, that would have still made for like a significant year. Like there wouldn't have been the volume. There wouldn't have been the volume, but there would have been like a couple of real like higher level wins. So this is just something I'm working with, sort of projecting into the future a little bit over here.
Yeah, you're kind of going quality over quantity.
Little bit, perhaps. And again, this isn't a fucking excuse for some guy who just never in his life collected a girl's number to just be like, oh, good, I don't have to do anything.
That's like, different. Yeah, because they've not got the skill set. Now.
Right. It's like dude.
Like, it takes so much hard work at first, but when you get to a certain skill set though, then you can decide where you're going to take it next.
And you almost need to start doing that at the higher levels. You need to start making some of those decisions at the higher level, because if you want to get access to the higher level girls, it takes a little bit of a different skill set, and it's a leap between like one. We'll finish up here soon, man. But I remember I was listening to RSD Luke one time talk with he might have been talking to Derek actually about this. And he was saying where there's this kind of thing that you have to do in order to get access to like the top tier women. He said there is this thing that you kind of got to do where you almost have to say no to the tier lower. Like you almost have to say no to like a bunch of 7.5s. You might even have to say no to an 8 or 2. And he was just saying where there's this difficult kind of like this, like you're in the middle of the river. Do you know what I mean? You're almost in like a limbo where you're kind of like saying no to some girls, but you're not quite getting the new ones. But you kind of have to lose sight of one shore in order to eventually get to the other. Does that make sense?
Yeah. The way I'm getting that, I think I've seen that before, but the way I'm getting it is that because the lower tier ones, you're actually taking them out of your life now. You're saying, I'm not going for those ones. I'm going above.
That's right.
It forces you because you're kind of going after it. Okay, it's not working. Keep going. You're not settling for what's easy for you now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and he knows a lot about RSD Luke. He knows a lot about those higher tier. So sometimes I like to listen to those things. So anyway, just stuff to think about. But
yeah.
Yeah.
But today was different because we didn't have any topics actually. Like, normally we come up with a couple of topics.
We went pretty hard today. Yeah. That was the first time we went like deep into some of that sort of like red pill shit. But you know what? I think to a degree maybe that was necessary because I don't think it can't always just be about the kind of like more lighter stuff. Like, because sometimes it is a little serious. So sometimes you do have to, I think, just sort of check out some of those other topics. But I think we did a pretty good job of handling that stuff, man. I think we were pretty fair about things and pretty productive and positive.
Yeah, because it went very organically today. It just kind of went from like just natural topics into others. We really covered a lot, though. We covered a lot of kind of different things. It was maybe a bit darker today. Sometimes like they can't always be light, as you're saying. Like, and we were pretty fair because we used different comparisons and different examples and stuff to kind of paint it all together. Like, and like we say, like open mindedness is a big thing because if two people are open minded, then you're going to have the conversation in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, like so, I think we're going to be in lockdown for another while. So
fuck,
we'll get one going again. Like,
yeah, bro.
Another video. Maybe May time, sometime in May.
Yeah.
Middle of May, end of May, something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Hit me up, man, when you're ready. We'll do another one, man. I think we're in for a little bit of a quarantine here for a while, so.
Yeah, so it'll be another discussion. Maybe different topics. Maybe
we'll switch it up. We'll get a little lighter. We'll do something a little more fun next time, I think.
Yeah, a little easier for the viewers, like for the people viewing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, man. You need a bit of both, though. I think you need a bit of both. You know, it's like sometimes you got to go into the dark a little bit to appreciate the light. So it's all fair.
But there was a lot of positive messages from today because, like, we're saying what you can do in the coronavirus, and then we were looking at them and really pointing at how you can positively, like tactically, like put up the build up. So.
For sure.
Yeah, that's good. So
for sure, man.
Wrap up there then. Like,
all right.
Good to chat to you again, like.
Yeah, man, Ritchie.
So next time, like, maybe 4 or 5 weeks away. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
We'll do one soon.
Sounds good, man.
Okay, man.
Okay, man.
Take it easy.
See you, bro.
Okay. Take care.
See you, bro.
See you, bud. Bye.